Say the wrong nickname, lose the girl. Say the right one, and she cannot stop thinking about you. Here is the trap most men fall into. We default to baby, babe, sweetie. It feels safe. It sounds romantic, but it turns your voice into background noise and pushes you into the nice guy category. She does not get chills, she gets comfortable. Comfort is fine for friends. Desire needs something else. What she responds to is not a cute label. It is a word that hits her subconscious like a symbol. It makes her feel seen and slightly challenged at the same time. The forbidden nickname does not beg. It brands. It is rare, precise, and delivered once with calm masculine presence, then followed by silence. That is what creates the echo in her mind. Tonight, I will show you how to choose it, when to use it, and how to make one word do more than 100 compliments. We will talk timing, tone, scarcity, and the stoic energy that keeps you in control instead of needy. No games, no cringe scripts, just language that respects consent and amplifies chemistry. If you have ever been told you are sweet but not exciting, this is your upgrade. Pay attention. One sentence can change how she hears every word from you after this. Right now, listen closely. Let's get into it. Number 1. The nickname that isn't baby. Let's be real, baby doesn't hit like it used to. It's the verbal wallpaper of modern dating. Every guy says it and every woman has heard it 1,000 times before. When you call her baby, she doesn't feel special, she feels categorized. It's like putting her on the same playlist as every woman you've ever texted. Take Mark, 42, from Texas. Divorced, successful, decent shape. He started seeing Rachel, 39, a creative consultant, smart, independent, the kind of woman who's been through her share of sweet talkers. Mark thought being attentive and calling her baby would show warmth. But after a few weeks, she started to drift. Texts got shorter. Energy faded. He asked her what was wrong, and she said, "You're great. Just predictable." That word predictable kills attraction faster than silence ever will. Because when a woman already knows what you'll say, you stop being intriguing. You stop existing as a man of depth and start becoming an emotional vending machine. Here's the truth. A nickname should never sound like a habit. It should sound like a discovery. It should reveal how you see her, not how every other man sees her. Instead of baby, think about words that reflect something unique about her presence, her energy, her rhythm, her chaos. Not sweetness, but essence. When Mark stopped saying baby, and just once called her trouble, the energy shifted instantly. She laughed, paused, and said, "Why'd you call me that?" He shrugged, calm, quiet. The silence made her lean in. That's when he got her attention back, not because of the word itself, but because of what it meant. See, it's not about replacing baby with something dirtier or flashier. It's about using language as a reflection of awareness. A stoic man doesn't speak to fill space. He speaks to influence energy. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." What you say, and how you say it, dyes her perception of you. If your words are automatic, she feels that. But if your words are deliberate, rare, and grounded in presence, she feels that too. When you speak from awareness, every word gains weight. You could call her storm, trouble, chaos, or fire. It doesn't matter as long as it comes from the right place. What matters is the intention behind it. You're not performing, you're naming energy. You're describing a truth only you've noticed. And here's the secret: scarcity gives the word its power. The first time you say it, it lands. The second time, it deepens. The third time, it dies. So don't overuse it. Let it live in her mind, not on your tongue. That's how you create an emotional echo, a single word that replays in her thoughts long after you've left the room. It's not manipulation. It's emotional awareness. You're speaking in the language her subconscious understands: rarity, mystery, and control. So the next time you feel the urge to call her baby, stop. Breathe. Look at her like you already know something she doesn't. Then say the word that fits her energy, not her ego. Because when your words are rare, she'll crave them. Comment below with, "I speak with purpose." Stick with me because next, we'll talk about how to reach the part of her mind that listens even when you're silent. Number 2. Speak to her subconscious, not her ears. Most men talk to a woman's ears. They try to convince her with logic, reason, or compliments that sound like job interviews. "You're beautiful, you're amazing, you're the one." These words bounce off her mind because they don't touch her. They're safe, predictable, and surface level. But when you speak to a woman's subconscious, everything changes. That's where her desire lives, deep, emotional, instinctive. The subconscious doesn't care about grammar or logic. It reacts to tone, rhythm, silence, and energy. When you speak slowly, calmly, with intention, her nervous system picks up the signal before her thoughts do. That's why sometimes she can't explain why she feels drawn to a man. It's because his words didn't just sound good, they felt right. Here's the truth. Women don't fall for the meaning of your words. They fall for the emotion carried inside them. Think of your voice as an instrument. Every pause, every shift in tone, every quiet moment is a note that plays in her subconscious. When you talk too much, you break the rhythm. When you speak too little, you lose connection. But when you balance steady voice, strong posture, calm presence, you create resonance. She feels you, even when you say little. This is where Stoicism gives you an unfair advantage. The Stoics mastered emotional control, not repression, but direction. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." In this context, the quality of your thoughts becomes the quality of your energy. If your thoughts are anxious, needy, or uncertain, she feels it instantly, not because of what you say, but because of what you radiate. But if your thoughts are centered, grounded, and calm, she relaxes. She feels safe and intrigued at the same time. That's the paradox of male power. You don't have to chase emotion. You guide it. A woman's subconscious doesn't want chaos from a man. It wants a mirror of her own chaos reflected in stillness. When you embody that stillness, she unconsciously trusts you. Let's break this down practically. The next time you talk to her, notice your body before your mouth. Are your shoulders relaxed? Is your breathing deep? Are you rushing to fill silence? The subconscious reads these micro-signals like code. Your calm communicates what words cannot, that you are not seeking validation, you are leading the moment. You can say the simplest phrase, "You look different tonight," and it lands like a mystery. Why? Because of how you say it. Your tone carries unspoken meaning. That's how you access her subconscious, through suggestion, not persuasion. Seneca once said, "He who has great power should use it lightly." That's exactly what this is. The power of suggestion is quiet, but it's magnetic. You don't push your energy onto her. You let it flow steady and controlled. That's the kind of communication that bypasses her ears and goes straight to her instincts. So stop worrying about finding the perfect words. Focus on what your presence says when you're silent. Let your stillness, tone, and intention carry the message. Her subconscious understands confidence without effort. If you've ever felt like your words don't land, it's not because you said the wrong thing, it's because you said it from the wrong energy. Fix that, and you won't need to convince her of anything. She'll feel it. Comment below with, "I speak without words." Stay with me, because in the next part you'll learn how to turn mystery itself into the message she can't ignore. Number 3. When mystery becomes the message. Mystery is not about hiding. It's about revealing less than expected, just enough to make her imagination work overtime. See, women aren't obsessed with what they know. They're obsessed with what they can't quite figure out. And that's where most men lose the game. They explain too much, reveal too early, and leave no space for curiosity to breathe. Take David, 45, from Chicago. Divorced, grounded, successful, but burned out from years of trying to say the right thing. When he met Laura, 41, an art therapist, he tried something different. Instead of chasing or oversharing, he started letting silence do half the talking. When she asked questions, he answered briefly but always with warmth. When she complimented him, he smiled and said, "You'll have to find out." That line wasn't arrogance, it was restraint. It planted curiosity. Within weeks, she was texting first, showing up more, and trying to read him. Mystery creates tension, the good kind. The kind that keeps her emotionally engaged long after you leave the room. The problem is most men kill mystery by trying too hard to connect. They tell their life story on date 1, confess feelings after 2 drinks, and call it honesty. But it's not honesty, it's exposure. And exposure without depth doesn't inspire attraction, it drains it. The human mind craves puzzles. When something feels complete, interest fades. But when something feels unfinished, attention stays hooked. That's why you should never rush to explain yourself. Your confidence should whisper, not shout. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The more we value things outside our control, the less control we have." Think about that in relationships. When you rush to fill every silence to reassure her, to prove your worth, you're valuing her understanding of you more than your own mystery. That's when you lose power. A Stoic man knows when to hold back. He trusts that what's real doesn't need to be explained to be felt. David learned this quickly. He stopped texting paragraphs and replaced them with short, intentional messages. You'll see. That's a story for later. Each one kept Laura guessing, and when they finally met again, she couldn't stop smiling. She said, "I never know what you're thinking." That's exactly the point. The less she knows, the more she feels. Mystery turns you from predictable to magnetic. It's not manipulation, it's emotional pacing. You're not withholding affection, you're letting curiosity mature into desire. The difference between a man she likes and a man she can't forget is mystery. Here's something to remember. Women don't want transparency, they want discovery. When you give her space to wonder, she fills in the blanks with emotion. And when she does that, her imagination works in your favor. So talk less, mean more. Make eye contact that suggests a story she hasn't heard yet. Smile like you're remembering something she doesn't know. That's how mystery becomes your language. Laura once told David, "You always make me feel like there's more to you." That line isn't about ego, it's about depth. When a woman feels there's more to learn, she keeps coming back to find it. So let mystery become your message. Don't explain. Don't rush. Let her curiosity pull her closer, one thought at a time. Now tell me in the comments. I move in silence. Let's keep going, because next you'll learn how scarcity makes your words hit harder than anything you could say twice. Number 4. Make it rare, make it powerful. Here's the truth. Most men never learn. The more you give, the less it's worth. This applies to attention, affection, compliments, even presence. Women are not drawn to what's always available, they're drawn to what feels earned. What's rare has gravity. It pulls her in without chasing. Think about it. Every time you flood her with texts, tell her how much you miss her, or constantly reassure her, you're removing the mystery that creates tension. You're feeding her certainty, and certainty kills attraction. The female mind doesn't crave constant comfort, it craves emotional rhythm, the push and pull, the uncertainty that keeps her imagination alive. When you make your attention rare, your presence becomes valuable. Every word, every glance, every gesture begins to matter. Because it's not about quantity, it's about impact. And impact is built on restraint. Stoicism understood this centuries ago. Epictetus said, "If you wish to be loved, love moderation." That's not about coldness, it's about mastery. When you hold back just enough, when you don't rush to satisfy every emotional impulse, you create anticipation. You teach her subconscious that your presence is something to be earned, not assumed. A woman's attraction thrives in the space between her desire and your control. She doesn't fall for men who overshare. She falls for men who know when to stay quiet. She doesn't crave the man who gives everything freely. She craves the man who chooses carefully when to give. When your energy is measured, when your affection comes like rare sunlight after days of stillness, it imprints deeper. Imagine this, you're sitting with her, she's laughing, leaning in, searching for more of you, and instead of over-delivering, you pause. You smile, meet her eyes, and simply say, "You know, I don't say everything I think." Then silence. That silence speaks louder than a dozen compliments ever could. That's the art of rarity. It makes your presence echo. When she can't predict when or how you'll engage, her mind starts filling in the blanks. She begins to replay your words, your tone, your pauses. That's when she becomes invested. Because she's not getting you all at once, she's experiencing you in pieces, and those pieces become addictive. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Apply that here. Don't argue your value. Don't advertise it. Embody it quietly. Let her feel your worth through how selective you are with your time, your words, your energy. Scarcity isn't about playing games. It's about presence with discipline. You're not withholding. You're refining. Every time you resist the urge to over-explain, to over-text, to over-give, you're telling her one powerful truth: you are a man in control of himself. And in a world full of noise and desperation, that control stands out. It creates calm tension. It invites curiosity. It keeps her guessing. If you've been wondering why your effort sometimes feels invisible, it's probably because it's too common. Make it rare, and you make it felt. And if you want to go deeper, understand the real psychological mechanisms that make this work, I talk about them in detail for my channel members. Join the inner circle, where I break down how Stoic control translates into magnetic attraction. Because the truth is simple: when your energy is rare, it becomes sacred. Comment below with "I move with intention." Now let's move forward, because next we'll talk about how to make your silence speak louder than words. Number 5. Energy before words. Before you ever say a word to a woman, she already feels you. Your energy speaks first, louder, clearer, and more honestly than anything that follows. It's in your eyes, your breath, your posture, your tone. And what most men don't realize is that a woman's intuition is wired to pick up on it instantly. Let's take a simple example. Ryan, 37, works in marketing in Seattle. Confident at work, respected by his team, but awkward when talking to women. He'd spend hours thinking of clever lines, but they always fell flat. Then, one day at a cafe, he met Amber, 35, a graphic designer. Instead of rehearsing what to say, he focused on how he felt before walking up to her, calm, grounded, unhurried. His approach was simple: no tricks, no performance, just presence. She smiled immediately. Later, she admitted, "I didn't even care what you said. You just had this calm energy about you." That's what changed everything. Here's the truth: women aren't listening to your words, they're listening to the man behind them. They sense tension, insecurity, or authenticity faster than logic can explain. So when your internal state is centered, your presence becomes magnetic. When it's anxious or performative, your words collapse under their own weight. This idea isn't new. The Stoics understood this long before psychology gave it a name. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts," meaning what you think you project. If your thoughts are restless, needy, or uncertain, that becomes your color. A woman doesn't see your words, she sees that color. But when your thoughts are grounded, when you feel no rush, no need to impress, your energy tells her something powerful: you are enough as you are. Ryan began practicing something simple before every interaction: a deep breath and a single reminder: I'm already the calm. No need to prove, no need to chase. That shift made his tone slower, his gestures smoother, his presence heavier. Women responded differently, not because he changed his words, but because he changed the frequency behind them. Women are emotional receivers. They tune into vibration before logic. If your energy says, "I need you to like me," she feels pressure. If it says, "I'm good where I am," she feels freedom. And paradoxically, that freedom makes her drawn to you. It's like gravity. Calm attracts chaos. So what can you do? Before you speak, regulate your energy. Slow your breathing. Feel your body. Look into her eyes without expectation. Let silence breathe before you answer. That stillness tells her something ancient, that you are not controlled by the moment you command it. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." In attraction, it's not what you say, it's the energy you bring to the space between you. Your words might fade, but the way she felt around you will linger. That's what she remembers. Amber later told Ryan something that stuck. "When I'm around you, it feels like time slows down." That's the essence of true masculine energy, slowing down the moment so she can fall into it. So next time you speak, don't focus on what to say. Focus on what your energy is saying before your lips even move. Because when your energy is aligned, calm, grounded, unbothered, your